Welcome to the Better Eye Health podcast with Damon P. Miller II, MD. This particular podcast is an excerpt from the weekly conference calls. Dr. Miller focuses on different topics connected to the Better Eye Health program. The topic of this session is when to get new carbon rubber pads. Here is Dr. Miller.
Okay, I think we're okay now. I just wanted to thank you for recommending that I get new pads for the actual eye microcurrent, because and that's something I don't think maybe a lot of people know, to order new ones about every year. It did make a difference in like some of the flashing I saw.
Okay, well, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, that is, and we're actually redoing the manual. The manual is going to state that a little more clearly, the little manual that is going to come with the microcurrent unit. But just what Mary's talking about is that the carbon rubber pads, the black pads that have the Velcro on them, the things that you put the wet piece of cotton on and those go over your eyes, those are, that material, as you pass electricity through it, so it's a pretty miraculous material. It's rubber, it's flexible, and yet it is able to conduct electricity. What a great thing. But as you pass electricity through it, basically the material begins to become a resistor rather than a conductor. And you can't tell that by looking at it. You won't know that just by working with the unit. It's going to feel the same, it's going to look the same. Basically, the thing you need to do is you have to change those pads about every year. There are ways that we can look at the pads with an instrument and decide how conductive they are, and recommend that you change them. But it is important to change them about every year. So, Mary, what were you noticing?
I was noticing that I had quit seeing any flashing, and then once I switched to the new pads, I got that again.
One of the things too that happens is that the microcurrent machine, the microstim machine, is pretty remarkable in that one of the things it's trying to do is to maintain a constant current output no matter what the resistance is in the circuit. If you're trying to push the current through pads that have become highly resistive, they don't conduct very well, it will up the output to maintain a constant output. But eventually, if those pads become too old, then even the machine can't overcome that. And so that's why we do recommend keeping track of it. And so do it every year, whether you need to or not. But certainly, if you've been using them for a while and you start to feel like the unit just doesn't have the oomph that it used to have, or that it, like Mary says, you used to see the flashing all the time and now you're not seeing it, or you've got to turn the unit all the way up before you feel anything at all, that's a sign that you probably need new pads. And I just want to use this opportunity also, it wasn't Mary's question, but just to say that the weakest link in the equipment, the microstim equipment, is the wire. So if suddenly the machine seems to stop working, 99 times out of 100 it's going to be because the wire's gone bad. The wires are rather fragile. They go bad. The reason we use that wire is that wires that are more robust are also very, very stiff. And so it's nice to have a flexible wire. So that's why we give you an extra wire with the unit. We recommend you keep one around.
Tune in for more podcasts and other presentations. Go to www.bettereyehealth.com. There is hope for sight.